ever read something and it's like, wow, this was written for me.
Mm.
Like it just unlocks something you've been wrestling with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I felt with this piece we're diving into on faith and what it means to have a real, like, genuine relationship with Jesus.
I think these kinds of writings, they often tap into these universal truths, and that's what makes them resonate so deeply.
Totally. And this one, it really digs into this idea of unwavering trust in God, especially when life throws those curveballs and things feel uncertain.
Yeah. It goes beyond just like the idea of believing, right?
Right.
It's about letting that faith be the bedrock of your life. It's about letting it influence your decisions, your interactions, everything.
Like almost like the author saying faith isn't just for Sundays,
Exactly.
It's something you live out like every single day.
Every single day. And they use those, examples from the Bible, like Abraham and David, for example.
Oh, yeah.
These are people who faced huge challenges, but their faith, it was constantly tested.
See, and I think that's really encouraging because,
Yeah.
it's easy to put those biblical figures on a pedestal,
Right.
but they struggled with doubt and fear just like we do.
Exactly. That's such an important point. And it reminds us that doubt isn't the opposite of faith.
Mm.
Actually, some would argue it's a vital part of the human experience. It pushes us to seek a deeper understanding. Think about Abraham questioning God about sacrificing Isaac.
Right.
Was he doubting God's power, God's compassion? Or was it more about the sacrifice being asked of him? These nuances are really important to consider.
Totally. Because we all have those moments, right, where it's like, okay, God, I trust you, but.
Yeah.
But exactly. But instead of staying stuck in that doubt, this peace, it kind of challenges us to cultivate a more personal relationship with God.
Yes.
One that's built on prayer and meditation and really focusing on that two-way communication.
See, I think that's a big one because it's so easy to fall into the trap of viewing prayer as a one-way street.
Totally.
We just list off our requests, right?
Yeah.
But this piece, it highlights how important it is to really listen for God's guidance, too. We have to make space for his voice, especially amidst, all the noise of our busy lives.
It's like you almost have to quiet the noise around you to hear that still, small voice.
Exactly.
It's like when you can be surrounded by people, but you still feel so alone.
Right.
And I feel like it's in those moments when we feel most lost that listening for God's guidance becomes like even more important.
Absolutely. And it's not just about, seeking that guidance. It's about letting that faith really shape the way we interact with the world, too.
Oh, yeah.
I love how the author phrases it. They talk about walking with Jesus daily. It's like, it's not just about the big decisions, is it?
Yeah.
It's about letting your faith infuse, like, every aspect of your life.
It's like, okay, how does my faith affect how I treat the barista at my coffee shop?
Exactly.
Or how I respond to that, like, really stressful email?
Yeah, those small, subtle shifts in perspective, they can make such a difference. When you actively invite Christ into those moments, it changes everything. How you approach challenges, how you treat the people you encounter,
It's like putting on a new pair of glasses.
It is. It really is.
And suddenly you're seeing yourself, the world, everything in this totally new light.
And that shift has a huge impact on, your well-being, too.
Yeah.
The source, they highlight how important prioritizing your relationship with God can be for your overall well-being, like fear, anxiety, that hopelessness. It can be replaced with courage and peace and a renewed sense of purpose.
I love that because it's not about your problems just like magically going away.
Right. Yeah.
It's about facing them with this new strength, this new perspective.
Exactly.
And I appreciate that. Like they're not sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
The author acknowledges that life is tough. There are struggles.
Yeah.
But they offer a different way to navigate those struggles. Yeah. And it's with faith as your anchor.
It's about finding that unshakable, inner foundation through faith. And then you can weather those storms with so much more resilience.
You know what it makes me think of? That guy who walked across Niagara Falls on a tightrope.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, just the sheer willpower,
Right. And it's not like the wind wasn't whipping around him or the spray from the falls wasn't threatening to knock him off. He still had to face all that. But it was his focus, that inner strength. That's what got him across. And that's what this piece makes me think about with faith. It's that kind of resolute inner strength.
Wow. That is a powerful analogy. Yeah. It really speaks to that unshakable foundation that faith can give you, so you can face those challenges, those really tough things, with courage. And speaking of powerful, this piece, it ends with this beautiful image, this idea of letting God's presence be your guiding light, to illuminate the path for you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like this reminder that no matter, I don't know, how crazy life gets, taking the time to nurture that spiritual side of ourselves, it makes such a difference. This deep dive, it's really given me a lot to think about. What about you? Anything really stand out to you?
What about you guys listening? What resonated with you? And what questions did it spark for you
Yeah.
about faith, about trust, about your own, journey? Keep those questions in mind.
Yeah. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so keep this conversation going. It's these kinds of reflections that really, they enrich our lives.